Axel Rudakubana, the Southport monster, will be tormented and tortured this Christmas inside of Hmp Belmarsh. His life will be a living hell inside the segregation unit of Hmp Belmarsh. He will not be getting any exercise that day, believe you me. Those screws inside the Hmp Belmarsh block will have it, not will, they have got it in for him. He attacked one of their own. Not only that, the offence of what he was in for. He is despised, he is hated by all the prisoners. The majority, there will be the odd few that will like him. But he is despised by the majority, and he is despised by the prison officers. The prison officers were the only ones that had to speak to Axel Rudakubana, the monster, in the segregation unit, until he decided to throw boiling water over them this year, which is still ongoing, which he will be going to court for, but it'll not make no difference because any sentence that they are on top, he's already doing life with a minimum of 52 years. He spent one Christmas inside already, but this one will be worse than the last. That monster is still on suicide watch. He had most of his luxuries taken away. Obviously, when you're down the segregation unit for protection, he still has access to a TV. He still has access to everything a normal prisoner on a normal landing would be access or would be able to have access to. So because he is down there for his own protection, he still gets luxuries that the other prisoners get. But a lot of those luxuries were taken away from him because of what he'd done. But don't think for one moment that those screws inside the block are going to do anything to make his life easy. Especially on Christmas Day. Because apparently, or not apparently, it's officially, his parents are Christians and he is Christian. So Christians celebrate Christmas. His parents will be celebrating Christmas. The birth of Christ, Jesus Christ, his birthday on Christmas Day. So Axel Rudakubana, or refer to him as the monster, will be having a worse Christmas than last for the fact that, like I've just mentioned, the screws will be making his life a living hell. He's on suicide watch. Christmas Day, they can say we are understaffed. You can't have your exercise. You can't have your shower. You can't come out of your cell at all. So he will be stuck inside of that cell in his own feces stinking, because I have heard that obviously he's in a depressed state. Probably because he's in prison, not because of what he's done. And he is festering away inside of that cell, stinking like the little rodent that he is. But before I go any further into it, what I do want to mention is the reason why I keep mentioning this monster as well is because I have had contact from the families of some of the victims of this Southport massacre. And they have said, thank you for your good work. Please keep it in the limelight. Please keep people informed about what is going on with him. Please bring us the good news of when he gets his prison justice, which next year, I believe, is the year when prison justice is going to catch up with him. So the victims of this monster is BB King, who was aged 6, Elsie Stankham, aged 7, Alice De Silva Aguirre, aged 9, and he also attempted to murder 8 of the children and 2 adults. Now let's spare a thought for the families of the 3 young angels that are no longer with us. Spare a thought for them at Christmas, because although this channel I talk about the perpetrators and what happens to them inside a prison, I also have remorse, and I also think about, when I'm doing these videos, I think about the families, I think about the victims, I think about what they've went through. But when they contact me and say, you're doing a brilliant job, keep up the good work, it makes my job worthwhile. And like I say, I've been contacted and have said, keep it up, keep doing what you're doing. Please bring us the news of when that monster gets attacked. And you will be hearing it first on here, Behind Bars TV, when this monster gets his comeuppance, which I believe, people, will be in the new year. I do believe, and my predictions have been quite right so far on this channel. When I predicted what would happen to Ian Watkins, it only happened a few weeks after when I mentioned it. And other high-profile bacons, they are getting their comeuppance. They are all quaking, shall we say. I'll be careful with my words. They're all quaking in their boots, because guess what? The copycats are going around the system, and it has been a year. Let me get me little piggy out. It has been a year for bacon bashing and bacon killings. Bacon bashings and also bacons, often bacons accidentally or naturally no longer with us. So we'll be keeping you updated on all of that. But getting back to this monster and why his Christmas is going to be horrendous. Because guess what? We'll get the names up if I can find them. The parents of this monster are now under investigation by Merseyside police. Axel Rudakubana and the mother, who is called, 2 seconds, let me get it up, Letitia Muzaya, if that's how you pronounce it, who are originally from Rwanda. They are now under investigation because parental concerns. Under oath, his father admitted to intercepting a machete that the monster ordered online and not reporting it to the police, for which he expressed deep regret at the inquiry. Deep regret is not good enough. 17-year-old, you've got a 17-year-old son, you find him with a machete. What else is in his room? He's been making ricin. He has an Al-Qaeda training manual. He's got violent behaviour. He was excluded from school at the age of 12 for violent behaviour and carrying knives. And his family had repeatedly expressed concerns to authorities. But obviously, leading up to this, they didn't express concerns. They expressed concerns only when he was caught with these weapons and he was excluded from school, and the police were involved, not because they got them involved, but because they were involved because of his behaviour. So this, I believe, next year, this ongoing investigation, these parents of this monster are going to be held accountable. And yes, he is going to know this, because when he's having phone calls with his parents from inside of Belmarsh, which he probably will be doing on a daily basis or every other day, because obviously prisoners' rights, you're allowed phone calls, he'll be putting money on his phone credit and he'll be ringing his parents. And they'll be voicing their concerns to him, saying, son, next year we might be joining you because we are under investigation. And like I've just said, when there was an inquiry, he openly admitted that he deeply regretted this. He knew there was things going on. He had ideas that something was going to happen, something horrific, which did happen. And he, along with his wife, they have got parental concerns, but they have got parental guidance. He's 17-year-old, he's living in their house. They have got a duty of care to report. Obviously, if it was just say an ordinary 17-year-old who was going off the rails a little bit, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not going to report him to the police because it's not that serious. He's just going off the rails a bit. But someone who's researching this type of material, someone's been found with a machete, he has an Al-Qaeda manual in his bedroom. It is a massive concern. They would have known that he was going to be doing something of this sort. Who knows? They could have been involved. I'm not making assumptions or anything or saying they are. I'm saying it's a possibility. We can all see possibilities, but there's plenty of possibilities. There's possibilities that there wasn't just him behind it. And he is now sitting in there, mind twisted, not because of what he's done, but because of who's going to be involved, who's going to be sitting inside of a prison cell with him, and it's going to be his family members. Who will he love most in the world? If he has any love. His parents. Well, I'd imagine so. But you never know the background then again. But if he does love his parents, which I'm assuming he probably will do, he's been still living with them, he's going to then feel like a duty of care to his parents for what he's done. So he's going to be suffering whilst he's getting tortured off the screws. Make sure you do a fucking good job, screwboys, on Christmas Day. Do us all a favour. I was going to say police officers. Do us all a favour, please, prison officers. Wink, wink. Make sure you make his life a living hell. And make sure you don't give him the luxury that other prisoners get on Christmas Day, which is a penguin biscuit and an apple or an orange. Make sure he doesn't get his biscuit and make sure he doesn't get his piece of fruit. Or if you do, make sure it has maggots in the middle of it. But I just thought I would come on, bring this to your attention and let you know what will be happening to him on Christmas Day and what will be happening every day, because every day is going to be the same. But like I say, Christmas Day is a day. They're a Christian family. Like it says, they come from a village in Rwanda, and it says that the parents are evangelical Christian Tutsi. So that's their religion, and obviously they celebrate Christmas. So Christmas Day, when it's a day of celebrations, everybody, or the majority of people, will be with family and friends and celebrating, and he will be celebrating inside of his mind, twisted up, but the celebrations will not be nice. And like I say, prison officers, make sure you do us all a favour. Make sure his electricity accidentally goes off, so if he has had his TV or his radio back, he can't listen to it. But like I say, he will be tormented. Next year is going to be a very bad year for him. He is going to have more grief, more anguish, more prison justice, because he is still getting tortured down the block. And like I've mentioned previously in a previous video, where he nearly got shitted up through the door, because it can still happen. They can still put inside of Radox bottles, put feces in, put urine in, shake the bottle up, squeeze it through the door, the gap of the door, inside the cell. He's stuck in there with that stench, and out of the windows. which they used to get called window warriors, where people shouting out the windows. But there is lads down the block, even though he's in a separate part of the segregation unit, you can still hear voices echoing, shouting from the other side of the segregation unit. So the lads down the block, if anyone's families are watching, make sure Christmas Day he gets some Christmas carols sent to him out the window, because that's exactly what will be happening, and that is what has been happening. He's been getting tortured. Like I say, there's more ways to skin a cat. He's been getting tortured out the windows, people shouting at him constantly, and there's no way out. You can maybe put your earmuffs in, but you can't do it, earplugs rather, or put some tissue in to drown out the noise, but you can't do it 24/7. So that's what's happening with people. Don't think he's having a cushy time. He's being protected. He's in that cell. He's safe. Nothing's happening to him. He's in that cell. He might be safe from attack from the other prisoners, but he's not safe from the mental abuse out the windows and the mental abuse from the prison officers. So that's what's going to be happening with that monster on Christmas Day. But like I say, I'm going to finish it off with remembering BB King, Elsie Stankham, Alice Da Silva Aguirre, the other 8 children, and the 2 adults who were injured in this horrific attack. I do hope you have a good Christmas. My thoughts and prayers are with each and every one of you, and with all of your family members. I hope you can get on with your life and live your life as good as possible, because that monster will get his comeuppance. But on that note, people, I'm going to leave that one there for now. Hopefully you are still enjoying the content. And if you are, people, remember to comment, like and subscribe. But most importantly, stay safe, everyone.